So, hi everyone. We now have here an averages question from the official GMAT. The question speaks about two friends, Ada and Paul. So, they took apparently three tests. In the first test, Ada scored 10 points higher than Paul. The second test, she scored 4 points higher than Paul. But if you taken the average of all the three tests, Paul had scored 3 points higher than Ada. So the question here asks us what should have been Paul's marks in the third test such that he scored on an average 3 points higher than Ada. So to answer this, definitely we can go ahead with the long route of using in equations by presuming Paul's marks to be x and Ada's marks to be x plus 10, and then in the second test assuming Paul's marks to be y. So rather than complicating and bringing in a lot of algebraic expressions, one simpler way you can solve this is by plugging in values. Like for instance, in the first test, I'm presuming Paul scored 1 mark and Ada had scored 10 points higher than Paul. So her mark should have been 11. Now in the second test, Paul, I'm presuming again scored 1 and Ada scored 4 points higher than Paul, which means she should have scored 5 points in that. Now in the third test, I don't know how much Paul scored, but I can assume values for Ada. The reason is because the average of whatever comes of Ada's score, 3 points higher than that will be Paul's average. So I'm presuming here Ada's score in the third test was 2. Now, there is a reason why I've chosen 2 because 11 plus 5 is 16. So, if I take Ada's score in the third test as 2, then the average of the 3 would result in a whole number. So, apparently, it's 11 plus 5 plus 2 divided by 3, which is 18 by 3, which is 6. So, now we know that Ada's average is 6, and we have been told that Paul's average is 3 points higher than Ada's average. So Paul's average should be 9 points. So if Paul's average is 9, it means the sum of all his tests divided by 3 is equal to 9. So the sum of all his tests should be equal to 27. But we know the marks of his first and second test is 1 each. So 1 plus 1 plus x is equal to 27. So in the third test, he has ideally scored in 25 points, which is option E.